I had a little nest egg of money that I was saving to slowly, just slowly buy a house one day. You still want a house for your kids with a yard.
Yeah.
And I think I had gotten it up to like 10 grand, which was such a big amount of money for me, saving, 100, 200 bucks a month for however long, $10,000 or something. And I remember saying, I think I'm going to use it for publicity, which is not something that like. I don't buy purses. I don't buy extravagant things. I don't wear jewelry. I don't, I'm very practical.
You're the bookkeeper. You're the
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. And I also don't want to ever work in a restaurant again because remember to throw up on the feet.
Yep.
So I'm good. Not that I had no shame in the game.
No shame. Yeah.
But just for me, I was like, that's not for me. Let me do something else. So I'm doing QuickBooks. But no, I remember that saying, I think I'm going to take that 10 grand and use it on publicity because publicity is expensive. People don't understand that.
So
it's not all of the 10 grand, but it is expensive. Like when I went to the Emmys for People versus OJ, I bought my own ticket. And I wasn't given a ticket. And those tickets are not cheap.
Yep.
Those tickets are like $750 or something. And I bought it and for my husband. And I bought a ticket for the governor's ball and for my husband because I needed him there. And his only job was to push, if we won, to push me and make sure I go up on that stage because Ryan Murphy said that we could. Ryan Murphy said, if we win, we all go up there. We all go up there. So I had permission to go. But I knew I would chicken out. And a couple people that were there that were in the cast, I will not say, but that were kind of my level, did not go up on that stage. And I know they regret it. I know they did. But his only job was to push me to go up on that stage.
And he did. And he did.
And he did. And then I went backstage and they took photos and one of them ended up in Emmy magazine. And it was just incredible. I had publicity. So yes, I paid for publicity, paid for photos, I also called a lot of friends that were a level above me asking about it, understanding it. I had a meeting with a publicist probably 3 years prior, a friend that's a publicist. It was in a women's group that I'm a part of about lab rats. Like, should I use publicity for this? She goes, this is not the time for it. This is not the time. This is not actually the time for it. So I called a bunch of different people. I was like, is this the time for it? And they're like, yeah, Angel, this is the time. So publicity makes you look, it packages you. They write you a professional bio. They get you verified. They get interviews. So you get better at interviewing and get better at all these different things. They put it all together. They get you an electronic press kit, or at least my publicist does. That's beautiful. That just, you look.
I think we have the same publicist, don't we? Have the same publicist?
Persona PR.
We have Jordan, and all that. Yeah, we have the same publicist. So all this is right.
She's great. She's practical. She's affordable, but she's also being valued. You pay for her time. You pay for her expertise. Worth every penny.
Every single penny.
Still bought a house.
Oh, did you?
But not with that 10 grand. That 10 grand was spent. I spent that on hair and makeup. I spent that on publicity shots. I spent that on Emmy tickets. I spent that money, and you talk about leap of faith, And then you get to the fall, you get past the Emmys and all of that. And just the wonderful season was finally over. I got to go to all the parties. I got to go be there and hang out and see what that world was like, go to the night before party and all these things. And because it's OJ and they're not going to get interviews with John Travolta there, but they'll take an interview with me.
Yeah.
And I also had a lot of experience because I lived through the riots. So I actually had something to talk about in all those interviews, and I got a little bit better at interviewing, except for me just dominating this one and not listening to your questions. But I learned how to do it, and I learned what I wanted to say, and I learned how to say it, or at least how to be authentically me saying it. It may not be perfect, but it's me. It's who I want to share, how I want to share the knowledge that I have and what I've learned. So it was great, but then I don't have a nest egg.